You're listening to Left at the Valley 2.0, Atheist, Skeptic, and Humanist Radio.
Hi, this is Amy with a Y from Secular Soup.
Hi, this is Oren Ross.
Hi, this is Candace Gorham.
Hi, this is Andrew Torres.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Davis.
Hello, this is Dr. Daryl Ray.
Hi, this is Dr. Hector Garcia.
Hi, this is Mike Wiseman of The Bible Says What.
Hi, this is Thomas Westbrook of Holy Kool-Aid.
Hey, this is Robert Stanley from the Right to Reason podcast.
Hi, I'm Steve Grumbine. I'm the host of Macro and Cheese.
I'm Dave Fitzgerald.
And I'm Dana We can start again. Absolutely.
I'm Dave Fitzgerald.
And I'm Dana Preston.
And we took a left at the valley.
And then I masturbated after that.
Thank you for that. Thank
I
you.
know we shouldn't have to scream that we're atheists. You know, we don't have non-astrologers and all that. But with religious people taking over the world, I mean, we can either speak up or be pushed into a corner.
I'm proud to be an atheist, a skeptic, a non-believer, an infidel, a heathen. I call it how I see it. I say it's ignorance and you just call it faith and unsubstantiated claims. That's something to be ashamed. I'm an atheist.
Coming at you from Soak, BC, Alligator, Florida, and Batshit, Texas, this is Left of the Valley 2.0. My name is Kevin, and dating me is like biting into an oatmeal raisin cookie, then realizing it's actually chocolate chip, and also an hour later, an edible.
Hey, Kevin, I prefer the oatmeal raisin.
Ooh. Joining me as usual is the team that used to have a handle on life, but then it broke.
Sounds great.
Her therapist says she has a preoccupation with revenge, and she said, "We'll see about that." Sabrina.
Very nice. You know who you are.
He always takes life with a grain of salt, a slice of lemon, and a tequila shot. Brent Lee. And the last thing he wants to do is to hurt you, but it's on the list. Benjamin.
It is on the list, and you're next.
Guys, welcome back.
You know who you are.
Hope you had a great time.
I work for Sabrina.
I guess I want to start out with a bit of an apology to our listeners. We've been on a bit of a hiatus for the past couple of weeks, and we've had some technical issues, but hey, we're back, and that's what matters. And this show is also brought to you by our patrons. You too can become one of our patrons to help this show grow. Just go to patreon.com/LATV and help us, and you get some unrestricted access, behind the scenes, and all that. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you're wondering why my hand is broken on the show there, if you're watching the camera there, not just the audio, well, let me tell you something. Do not take your Reese's Pieces cup away from Sabrina without her looking, because she just hammered the damn thing to them.
I told you.
Yeah. So also pay us some money because you're on my list if you don't.
Patreon.com/LATV.
Sounds good.
Do it.
And later on in the second half of the show, we'll be talking to Dr. Ben Davis, returning champion. Dr. Ben Davis will talk about nuclear power and is it safe? So we'll be doing that in the second half of the show. But first, let's do our usual chit chat. All right. Okay. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we just had Halloween, and you guys might be interested to hear that archaeologists discovered what seems to be the earliest recording of a ghost encounter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a 3,500-year-old tablet that's actually in the British Museum, and they realized that actually on it has the recording of a ghost encounter and also instructions on how to avoid them. So
really,
believing in ghosts goes way back, apparently.
Wow,
it's an ancient
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's an ancient Mesopotamian tablet.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the same age as the oldest your mom joke.
Mama.
It is 3,500 years ago was the 3,500 years ago was the oldest recorded your mom joke.
There you go. That's perfect.
Apparently, the tablet seems to point out that the ghost is of a middle-aged woman who needs to be returned to the underworld. And apparently, it also includes a bit of a ritual that involved dressing for green at dawn and 2 vessels of beer and incantation. So there's the whole spell thing going on here too, as well.
Are you sure these two things aren't related? Like an old middle-aged woman who needs to go the fuck away? Come on.
That could very well be. It could be totally misinterpreted. Apparently, the Mesopotamian lore, the ghosts often return just to cause trouble, but they're not evil. They're kind of like mischievous.
Little tricksters.
Yeah,
exactly. Also, fun fact, a middle-aged woman back then was about 22.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, so far, all the ghosts. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Someone arguing with me about that they're like, you know, the the average age was only like 50 or whatever because so many babies died. There's lots of people live till 80 because so many babies died. It drove the average age down.
The average, yeah, I've heard that too. But it's funny because like even today, most of the reports of ghosts are like, "Oh, they took my dishes back out of this, after I put them away, put them back in the sink." Like
so,
that's
okay. We were actually talking about ghosts this weekend because Amy's brother used to have this rat snake that would get out and it would slither behind the books and the end of its tail would whip and cause the books to fly across the room.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cute.
So, if you didn't know there was a snake in there, you could just walk in there and you see books just suddenly flying off the shelf and it's a ghost, right? It's a ghost. It's got to be, right? Nothing, no other explanation.
And if you see the snake, still a ghost because they're
it's
so
a ghost
scary.
snake.
It's funny when it comes to ghosts. I remember dating this girl and she had a teddy bear that was actually tied up, like almost like BDSM tied up teddy bear. And
Shabari.
Yeah,
Shabari. She's an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
what's with the teddy bear? Is that she said she totally believed that the bear was cursed, and if you untied it, let it free, it would just cause havoc. I said, really?
What?
You've been watching Annabelle too much or something, man. I don't know.
Like Chucky, but like the teddy bear version.
Yeah, exactly.
Please tell me I don't know this person.
Mr. Cuddles wants blood.
Right? Same with the little knife.
That's a perfect idea for the next horror movie. According to Stats Canada, religious affiliation is at an all-time low in the country, here in Canada. It's down to 68%. These stats actually range from 1985.
Wait a second. So we're still 68% of a religious
affiliation.
So you're saying nearly 70% of our population is still religious?
No, not necessarily religious. They just identify with a certain denomination of religion.
Right? Doesn't mean that they're a church attending or
exactly.
Yeah, because how many people, if you ask them, they're like, "Yeah, I'm Catholic," but they haven't been to church in 18 years.
Exactly.
It's like a cultural thing half the time,
Yeah.
I was
there
raised
was
with this.
there was a high of 82% at some point. 23% of Canadians reported attending a religious activity, which is not a whole lot when you think of, even you said 68.
You mean
but
a
only-
religious activity like going to church?
Yes.
Okay,
that's that activity.
Once
Yes,
again,
that's the
this
activity.
is another overly specific term because it's like a religious event. So if my niece gets baptized, I'm going to go to that.
Yeah,
it's a religious event that I went to as an atheist.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Although as an atheist, I probably wouldn't admit it.
No, yeah.
The atheism negates that event there.
Yeah.
When they were asked if religious or spiritual belief was important, only 54% said yes.
There you go.
So we're kind of on par then, I would say, with the U.S. because it's like 51 or something.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close.
That's good. Okay, good. We're going in the right direction.
That's right.
You guys might not remember, about 10 to 15 years ago, there was a push to vaccinate against the HPV, the human papillomavirus.
Yep.
And not the HIV like Donald Trump thought it was.
No, that's actually a vaccine I refuse.
That was one of his brilliant moments. Remember that? When he actually went to Bill Gates and asked him what was the difference between HIV and HPV. This is Donald Trump.
That happened?
Yes, that actually happened. That actually happened.
That won't even slip by me because I don't. There were so many though; it's hard to remember.
Good thing he's a stable genius.
You're right.
Of course, the HPV virus is much more dangerous for women. Since that push,
they only vaccinate women here.
No, I think both.
They vaccinate males in the U.S. for sure.
Yeah, no, not. Wait, I stand to be corrected. But when my daughter was getting it, or they were asking her to get it, so that would be about 8 years ago. It was only the girls in the class that got it.
Yeah, because males are relatively unaffected by it.
And I refused it. Just saying.
Really?
Yes, that is one vaccine I refused to get my child.
Really interesting.
The only one.
Since that push, cervical cancers have been down 87% amongst women in the UK. This is out of the UK, by the way.
Okay, but the vaccinations were only happening to children and young women. So how is it all of a sudden 8 years later it's down? Well, I mean, cervical cancer is much more prevalent among older women.
Yeah. There are apparently
I don't. Anyway.
Apparently, the report says there are also hundreds of HPV strains, but only 2 of them actually are known to cause cancer. The younger the vaccinated, usually when they try to run 12, 13 years of age, the more efficient. And the study also estimates that in the UK alone, 448 cancers were actually avoided because of this push for vaccination for HPV.
Wow. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
I'm
good-
still not.
That's
for
good
it,
news.
but it is good news. I
That's good
guess.
news.
Yeah.
I suppose.
You guys remember Mark Parhar?
No. Well, I'm bad with names. Describe.
We talked about him quite a while back. He was here in BC. This guy was a flat earther who defied the Canadian authorities by traveling to the U.S. for a conference on flat Earth
During COVID.
and he came back not isolating himself, and he was arrested, sent to jail, and then he sued the Canadian government for kidnapping. Remember that now?
Okay. Now I remember this. I remember this.
Vaguely. Yes, I do remember. This is pre-Benjamin, right?
The kidnapping kicked it off. Now I can remember. Got the juices flowing.
Anyway.
Yeah, suing the Canadian government for kidnapping. The judge kind of left him out of the courtroom too.
Mhm.
So he was also teaching hot yoga, and he was teaching hot yoga as a protection from COVID. Well, yes, and this is the guy right here in New Westminster, which is the town next over, right?
Town next by town next. He literally means across the street.
Yes. So
Holy shit.
yeah, we're actually on the border of New West.
Yeah.
So guess what happened to him?
He got COVID.
He's dead.
Oh my God! He died from COVID, didn't he?
Yeah, he died from COVID.
Oh my God.
There's we suspect at this point it hasn't been quite released, but there's some videos. Some of the last videos of him were showing him reporting coughing, fatigue, chills, etc., etc. He said he took ivermectin, of course. And
Christ.
yeah, so,
I'm sorry. What is
which
his
is
name again?
Mark. Is it Parhar or Parham or anyway?
Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna pull this up. I need this for Google or for Facebook.
So
I need it for my vision board.
Yeah.
So now the guy, which is ironic because he took a fake medicine for a supposed fake disease.
Yeah.
He was claiming COVID was fake, but yet you took ivermectin to try to cure it
48 years
somehow.
old, people.
Yeah,
48 years old.
So let me tell you, with Thanksgiving coming up here in the U.S., I've got a very helpful suggestion for people when dealing with crazy conspiracy family members who bring up things like ivermectin. What you have to do is out crazy the crazy. So when they say, oh, well, I'm going to get some ivermectin, it's like, well, did you hear ivermectin is owned by Merck and they're using it and associated with Bill Gates to get the 5G out there?
Ooh,
Solid. Yeah.
good. Beat them at their own game.
Just out crazy them. Just add a whole nother level of conspiracy on top of it.
Yeah.
Crazy. You the crazy, more crazy.
That's
So
it.
what do you mean? You mean the Earth is flat? You believe in the Earth? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm
flat
sorry.
earther. This is all a simulation. The Earth's not flat. It doesn't exist.
His quote that I'm reading here in this article that I just pulled up says that horse parasite remover. So I did take that, and I feel like 40 to 50% better. But I am a little bit down.
40
right
to
now.
50% better.
How do you
After
measure
the days
that?
of diarrhea.
I'm exactly 50 units better.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
God.
then in an earlier video, it shows him coughing and complaining about being sick, but denying what he has, what he called convid.
Convid.
Yeah.
Convid. Okay.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah.
I like the
this-
wordplay.
Yeah.
The irony is he thinks it's a con, but yet he's taking medicine to beat it.
Yeah.
He's taking a
Beat the con.
to beat a
Right.
fake somehow.
Right?
Yeah, this is the world of the idiot.
hmm
Anyway, so
Yeah, they haven't said that he died from COVID, but let's just be real
let's
here.
call it 90%.
It's
sure
like
of
the
that,
other
so.
COVID denier that I know that's dead. So
Yeah.
it's
So good riddance. I'm not going to lose any sleep over him. I hate to say
no,
that. I hate
I
to be an ass. And last but certainly not least, we got to talk quickly. Especially, I want to hear what Brent and Benjamin think about the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Jump. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's great. I can't wait for his
Want me to bring you
podcast
some
on the
butter
Daily
ice?
Wire.
It sets a very dangerous legal precedence in this country.
So actually, now that did I save the picture? I believe I did. I did. So in light of this, I just want to read something that was put out, and it's amazing because it came from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America.
Yeah.
Oh,
we actually got something that
So-
us atheists are going to agree with a church of us.
And I believe I have no reason to believe it's not true. I didn't actually verify this, but I believe it to be true anyway. I have no reason not to believe it. And I did look up this person, and she does exist. Anyways, it's called a pastoral message on the Rittenhouse acquittal. Dear Church, In the book of Leviticus, we read, "You shall not render an unjust judgment. You shall not be partial to the poor or defer to the great. With justice you shall judge your neighbor." 19:15. Our social message on community violence urges us to become more involved in countering the reality and fear of violence in our communities and our neighbors' communities, pursuing justice and seeking peace, no matter how long the journey or complex the challenge. When a child is allowed to become a vigilante in our society without recourse, we are forced to confront the idols of our society: guns, violence, and white supremacy. To be sure, this is not about one person, but indeed about all of us together. Today's acquittal is an injustice. It points to the disorder in which we live. As we seek to restore justice, so also will we restore God to God's rightful place at the center of our life together in Christ. The Reverend Elizabeth A. Eaton, presiding bishop, Evangelical Lutheran Church in America.
Now, aside the reference of God at the end there, she's making perfect sense right there. All of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So good on her.
Yeah, good on her. And you know what? I'm shocked there's a female pastor that's
Yeah.
evangelical.
So
I was
anyway.
shocked to see that to begin with.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, that's because that's not allowed.
Real.
Does it really depend on the denomination? I guess. Yeah.
It's Lutheran.
Lutherans are pretty hardcore.
Well, I think it depends on the Lutheran church. You have different kinds of Lutheran.
Right?
I mean, you have different kinds of all of them, but like, yeah, there are some strict.
Evangelical written. It is from there.
Yeah,
I just
there's
Googled
all
it,
kinds
and
of
it's on
articles
the
about it.
elca.org, which is obviously the evangelical.
Good for her. Good for
So,
her.
yes.
And I'm not gonna be above saying that. Yeah, I totally agree with the pastor on this.
Yeah.
On what she wrote there.
So, by the way, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America is one of the largest Christian denominations in the United States, with nearly 3.3 million members in more than 8,900 worshiping communities across the 50 states and in the Caribbean region.
Fantastic.
So there you go.
The whole issue that I have with this whole thing there is, a lot of people are saying, well, if you're attacking somebody with a gun, no, you can expect to be shot. Yeah, that to some extent that makes sense, but
he shot first.
Well, no, I get that. I get that too. But the point is I find it hard to believe. I mean, if you told me right now there was a riot going in Langley, I find it hard to believe that I would pick up a gun, drive all the way to another town, much less another
He didn't pick up the gun. He drove there and then he got the gun.
Yes. But nonetheless, why would you go defend a business you have no idea? You don't. It doesn't belong to you.
Oh, he went there to cause shit. We all know he went there to cause shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious. Like what I mean, he literally said in on camera like a week before that he wanted to shoot shoplifters.
Yeah,
and then of course they wouldn't let that be entered into the evidence because the prosecutors were idiots and didn't put it in at the right time.
I heard a theory that they were looking to cause a mistrial because they knew that the judge was extremely biased and they were trying to get a mistrial so that they could do it again.
Here's the thing, though. Everybody's biased. The whole thing is like a guy went and defended the police and the property that the police were protecting and killed 2 protesters. The prosecutors are on the side of the police. They have a huge bias against those protesters,
and
no matter what.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch the trial. My opinions were formed long before the trial. I totally found him guilty beforehand. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I'm not even going to change my mind. Like, I don't think there's a way you could. But so I don't really know. But okay, 2 out of 3 died. So who didn't die? The first guy?
The third one that he shot. The one that was coming at him with a gun got shot in the.
That's the paramedic, right?
Okay,
the
so
paramedic, yes.
So the first guy that he shot, didn't he just like throw a bag at him or something?
Yeah,
so
he attacked him with a bag.
Self-defense. So the guy throws a bag at him. How is shooting him self-defense?
Well,
That's not self-defense.
Because this is America.
And he threw the bag, and then he chased him, right?
Okay.
And then he got close enough to where he could.
With the skateboard?
No, that's the second.
No, that's a different guy. Yeah,
okay.
And then and the guy kind of looked like he might have been reaching for the gun, and he shot him. That's what happened. He allowed him to get close enough.
The
then
first
waited for him to grab at him and then shot him.
Had a gun.
That's what he did on purpose.
Yeah, obviously.
That was fully thought out and intentional.
Yeah, because you see him like run and then stop and then wait for him to come and then shoots him. And then from there he gets on the phone with his buddy, says, "Hey, I just shot somebody," and then runs away. you know, and then that's when he gets into the altercation with the
See, the
because
other
everybody
two
was like,
guys-
"Did you just shoot this guy? What happened? What happened?" And he wouldn't answer any questions.
Yeah.
He just
The
ran
two
away.
guys that pull a gun on the guy that just shot a guy. I don't see how that's self-defense either, because those two people are defending themselves, and then he shoots them. Like, fuck
Right.
you, you're the one
Or
doing
it's-
the shooting, asshole. I'm
within
sorry, in
this-
Canada, he'd be in jail. Fuck,
Right.
he wouldn't have been able to shoot no one. He would have fucking come out with a gun. The cops would have been like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? You're under arrest."
Right, and it was funny too, because like in the trial, they basically dispelled the whole good guy with the gun thing, because they were saying that he was the aggressor, the guy that was shooting what was apparent to everybody was a mass shooter, and he was shooting at him, and they were saying that he was the aggressor at that moment. It's insane. It's so fucking. They're going back on their own shit in this one.
So
I actually
Benjamin,
did
I'm assuming you feel the same way.
What's that?
I'm assuming Benjamin, you
Oh.
feel the same way.
Yeah, where you
Yeah,
at with
this is I just can't. This
I'm with
is-
you.
I
So
think
then
you're right
hopefully
though
it
about
doesn't
the
set a
precedent.
very hopefully it doesn't set a very bad
It
precedent.
does.
But
Oh yeah, no, they're
Scary.
gonna Proud Boys are gonna be everywhere at every fucking protest from now on, and they're gonna have itchy fucking trigger fingers.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's
absolutely.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's disturbing. Okay, all right. And we're back.
And
Ew.
high from the left of the valley too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Did you say from or to?
Huh?
Did you say from or to when you told me to do it?
No,
No, you're good. You got it. I'm just messing with you.
I took a left of the valley, like taking a left. You took a left.
You take a left at the valley.
Well, tell me one more time what you want me to tell you. What time
It's too late. It's in the
We need
database.
like
Like it's
cue
over.
cards for this, Kevin.
Wait, and didn't we lay a track down for this already?
Yeah, he's done this.
Left of the valley or whatever the